Welcome to our Cal-Berkeley Bears baseball recap on Cal-Berkeley Community TV and on Satellite Digital Media News Network. The Golden Bears win the rubber match of a 3-game series here in Berkeley. 2-1 the final score over the Stanford Cardinals. So the Bears finished the season 13-17 in the ACC, 27-25 overall. And the Bears, who would have thought, where they lost 11 of their first 12 games, they got that hot start, and then they went to a dry spell like Batman's arch villain, Mr. Freeze, froze the offense, and plus there was some injury sandwich between that, Steve. But they come out with winning the series to finish on a positive note. And by the way, they beat Stanford now 5 of the last 6 meetings going back to last year's series sweep.
Yeah, Brian, if you would have walked out of here at Evans Diamond at the Stu Gordon Stadium in early April after Georgia Tech had swept the Bears and really dominated the Bears, and to think that only about 5 or 6 weeks later, Cal not only has righted the ship with its RPI, it's got a decent chance. If it can win a couple games of the ACC Tournament next week, Cal has a decent chance to get an NCAA regional bid. That kind of bounce back says a lot about Mike New and his staff, and most importantly, his players.
Yeah, I think who would have ever thought?
Not I, to be honest.
It looked like it was going to be one of those years, and they lost some close series to Boston College, and then they nearly took a series down in South Florida, Mike New's old stomping grounds, and they nearly. I think they really won a series last weekend, so
Well, they did win a series at Virginia, and they could have swept. I mean, we were talking in the press box earlier today. Cal has had some really tough losses, but let's be honest, Cal's had some really good wins. Case in point, last night 4-3 after being down 3-2 in the 7th, and today 2-1 after being down 1-0 in the 7th.
Yeah, and then looking at today's game, it was a pitcher duel, Nick Dugan for Dugan for Stanford, and it was Eddie Gavin for the Bears.
Gavin Eddie's been fabulous.
Eddie, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, walked 3 with 5 strikeouts, near close to a quarter dozen or half a dozen of strikeouts, and then Jet Kitty 2 for 3 at the plate.
Yeah, I think we have to go back to Gavin Eddie for a second. I mean, he's the ACC Pitcher of the Week for what he did at Virginia last Saturday, 14 strikeouts, 1 run in 7 innings. But he's been good all season. He's been really good his last 5 starts. He's been lights out his last 5 starts. And the Bears, I'm sure, are hoping they aren't his last 5 starts of this season, because if they can beat Stanford on Tuesday, get to the game Wednesday, maybe he starts that. That's sure up to Mike New and the pitching staff, and obviously Gavin himself.
Right.
But they'd love to get Gavin at least one more start. Hey, maybe 2 or 3 more if they can get an NCAA regional bid. Who knows what happens?
Short series because it's one and done in the ACC, unlike in previous times with different other associated programs where you're playing a knockout game for the elimination, or you're in playing twice to the guy on the losing bracket. It is simple. It's going to be this proposition is no exception in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Right, and it's hard to have a tournament with as many teams as the Atlantic Coast Conference has, 16, to have that double elimination. It would just take too long. So that's why it's a single elimination. But again, Cal is not right now an NCAA regional team. But the fact that
they're not intimidated by Northwest.
No, and again, Cal's not an NCAA regional team, but it's not that far out of it. And with an RPI of 56 coming into today, again, nobody knows for sure, but my guess is Cal has to win 2 games next week to be at least in consideration. And if Cal were somehow to win 3 games, then I think Cal would be in really good shape. But first things first, you got to beat Stanford again. And as good as these 3 games were, each decided by 1 run, getting by Stanford is going to be no easy task.
Yep, and here's another Professor B's fun fact. This will mark for the first time ever that the 2 Bay Area teams will be playing in postseason.
And against each other. Yeah, I mean, there have been years where they both made an NCAA regional, but you're saying it's the first time they've ever played against each other. Yeah,
head-to-head on the same field, of course on a neutral site, but they're playing head-to-head in a playoff game at either a conference or regional, at any scenario.
There you go. That should be fun.
Yep. Well, Steve, join you as our special guest. We would normally have Mike New to preview, but he's getting ready as we're doing this tape and getting ready for the team heading off to Southeast. It's a short turnaround, those 3-hour flights, so you know.
More than 3 hours. You're talking 5 or 6.
Yeah, so I understand where he's coming from.
Yep.
But so we have you on as his designated or pinch hitter for this time, though.
I know you and the fans would appreciate having Mike here much more than having me, but I appreciate you having me, and I tip my cap to Mike and his team.
All right. So, Steve, thank you very much. We'll hope to see you again soon, though.
Brian, my pleasure.
All right. That's Steve Kroner from formerly from San Francisco Chronicle. We'll recap the scores. It's 2 runs, 9 hits for the Bears, 10 runners up on base, 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Cardinal. The win goes to, it will be Gavin Eddy or Cole Clark, gets the win, and then Ethan Foley's to save. The losing pitcher will end up going to Cohen Gomez, and then Foley gets a save, and there were 1 home run, and that was by Reimers, who homered for the Cardinal, and that was in the 3rd inning. Time of the ball game, 2 hours, 45 minutes. 1,159 is the total attendance. Cal finishes the regular season portion 27-25, 13-7 ACC, or correction, 29-25, 12-18 ACC. Stanford finishes 27-25 overall, 13-17 in the ACC. On deck, ACC Tournament, and we just tuning in. It will be Stanford and Cal. First time ever that the 2 Bay Area teams will be playing in postseason. Cal will be seated 13. Stanford will be seated 12 at Truist Field in Durham, North Carolina. First pitch 10 a.m. Single elimination. ACC Network via ESPN Plus. The NCAA Tournament Selection Show will be 2 weeks from this coming Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, and that will also be seen on ESPN Plus. Latest news on the Cal Bears, go to calbears.com. And around the Atlantic Coast Conference and upcoming ACC Tournament, ACCC.com. That's it for now. Professor B with Steve Cronin for Cal Bears Baseball on both Cal-Berkeley Community TV and Satellite Digital Media News.